Don't be alarmed. The quasi-shimmering light before you is a trans-dimensional gateway to other worlds, other voices, other thoughts, and other realities. Up feels like down, and down feels like the number 7 on a Wednesday morning. Don't worry. That quivering, blood-boiling sensation under your eyebrows is all a part of the charm. Welcome to the PCC Multiverse.
And we're back with another episode of the PCC Multiverse. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here for the PCC Multiverse, the pop culture cosmos, inside sports, fantasy football, Lakers latest from the Fan Arc Network, and of course the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining all of our shows. Can you give us that like and subscribe? 5 stars out there. Do whatever it is you can to support us right here, because we just truly appreciate you stopping by to check out the latest in pop culture. Always right here, whether you're watching, you're listening, or you're checking us out on one of the great radio stations around the world that still play us all these years later, almost 500 weeks in, right here at the Pop Culture Cosmos. But it wouldn't be a PCC Multiverse without my good friend indeed. And couldn't get Josh here to do this as well. We were hoping for all 3 of us for the first time ever, but gonna have to see if we could do that for the movie version of this. It is a good friend indeed. It is the guy that's the guru of pop culture himself. It is the great one, TJ Johnson. And TJ, great to have you back alongside me, my friend.
Well, it's always a pleasure to be on the pop culture cosmos.
And I'm excited because, 400 and in this case, 70 episodes in-ish, you don't get to do too many new things, but I'm seeing all these other places like sifted.net that originated this, and so many other places have these kind of fantasy leagues and whatnot for other things of pop culture besides just fantasy football or fantasy baseball or fantasy basketball, whatnot. They are applying it to other things. And sifted.net, about a decade ago ish, they started a video game fantasy league that they do every year. So I'm going to give them total credit on it. So I thought, you know what? Why don't you just steal their idea or borrow their idea, as they say? He said, as long as you give us credit. So I'm giving you credit, sifted.net, for doing this. So be that as it may, I'm here with TJ Johnson for our first ever video game fantasy league. Hopefully, if all goes well, next week we'll be doing a movie fantasy league. Of course, it will not include the Valentine's Day movies, but we're going to have that fantasy league here coming up in a few seconds. But TJ, at the movies this week, Wuthering Heights for your Valentine's Day pleasure. But with that, my friend, I don't know. I mean, this would have been, I don't know if this would have been anyone's pick for, because that one's going to be based off of box office. The video game is going to be based off of Metacritic, because no one can give you a straight answer on video game sales these days anymore. So be that as it may, I'm not sure if anyone would have picked Wuthering Heights as the go-to or as a start of your fantasy team, based on the kind of mixed reviews I've seen so far.
Yeah, I would not think so either. It just doesn't, it's not my jam. It doesn't mean it's not, obviously it's somebody's jam, but it's definitely not my jam.
I mean, it will get quite a bit. I think it will, because of the fact it is a romantic movie on Valentine's Day. I think it's actually going to earn at least it's right now maybe shooting for a 40 to $50 million opening, which would be one of the actually be one of the biggest openings of this year. But I'm looking at it and the reviews are all over the place. So I don't know how long it's going to sustain itself. You also have Crime 101 with Chris Hemsworth. You have GOAT, the Sony animation movie. I don't think it's going to reach those numbers as well, because, it's not K-pop Demon Hunter. Your thoughts, my friend? This is a big weekend. It's the weekend after the Super Bowl. Movies are starting to come back into foray. People are looking for something to do. I'm just not getting that warm and fuzzy feeling yet that these are the movies you have to go to this weekend.
No, I don't disagree with you. You know, it's like we've talked about multiple times on the show now. It's like for me to get up and go to the movie theater, it's got to be something that's really, really worth seeing in the theater. And right now, there's just nothing. Now, obviously, you know, we know that there's some things coming out in 2026 that are going to be a big deal. And then, unfortunately, these are not these are not included on that list.
Well, the
These
ladies,
just
though, I think no matter even if it's reviewed bad, my friend, it's that the Jacob Elordi guy, from Frankenstein, getting also, I think he got an Academy Award nomination, but he is on the hot list with the ladies right now, but on the hot list in Hollywood right now. And again, his 15 minutes, it's ticking, my friend, and it's ticking right now.
well, there you go. You got 15 minutes, man. Get to it.
Yeah.
Get to it.
Him and Margot Robbie are doing this. I like the fact that the music is made by Charlie XCX, who is also all over the place. She just had her mockumentary debut at Sundance. She's in another movie as well, and she's putting the music for Wuthering Heights on it. So I think because of the fact that Charlie XDX and Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie, again, it depends on the project. I think people get behind her or not behind her. Like if it was Barbie all over again, I think people would be just going gaga over it. But I think right now, of the two, I think Jacob Elordi is the more interesting actor people are following right now at the moment. So Wuthering Heights, again, 40 to 50 million, I think, is probably right now what I'm looking at as far as a domestic debut, but all signs have pointed that. The thing is with GOAT and with Crime 101, can they be close enough to in second and third to sustain themselves for a profit? I mean, Crime 101 with Chris Hemsworth, I don't know, man. You know what? His agent over the course of the years, when all
Yeah. I
done,
don't know.
when all is said and done,
yeah.
because he has such skill as an actor, especially in the comedic format, but he has never chosen the right projects for the most part. He is not most of his projects that he has made just have not resonated with audiences outside of that certain Thor dude that he's actually portrayed it on a couple occasions, which is why he keeps going back to it because he doesn't succeed anywhere else. And this, even with Halle Berry, even with fellow uh so funny because it's Hulk and Thor revisited because Mark Ruffalo is in this movie as well and Barry Keoghan.
Exactly. Right.
um I just I don't understand it. He just doesn't seem to pick projects outside of his comfort zone with Thor that seems to resonate with an audience.
You know, it's a problem. It's probably this weird thing when you have actors who break out doing certain things and doing certain roles and kind of being known for those roles and kind of being pigeonholed and typecasted into that. And I feel like that's a bit of a problem with Chris Hemsworth. I I I would definitely agree. I think he needs to fire his agent. I mean, I mean no disrespect when I say that, but the roles that he's getting and he's playing, it's not. Obviously, I haven't seen Crime 101, so let's start by saying that. Obviously, but they just don't come across as projects that I feel are really worthy of a Chris Hemsworth, of his bravado, his ability. Honestly, I was just thinking about this as I was watching the PlayStation State of Play today. Obviously, depending on when you guys hear this recording, it was today on February 12th. But I was actually thinking he would be a pretty decent James Bond. He's got the voice, he's got the chops for it, he's got the bravado. And I think he has I think what we really need to see from Chris Hemsworth is a real earnest, um a very I don't want to say downtrodden, but we just need to see him in something very, very earnest where he's really got to earn it and he's got to really, deliver. And I think I actually would not mind seeing Chris Hemsworth making a go at 007. I think he could do it. If Daniel Craig can do it, Chris Hemsworth can do it. And Daniel Craig did it amazing. Let's be very clear. He was amazing. But he was not when he was announced as James Bond, he was not somebody I was like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." I didn't see it then. Obviously, his iteration of Bond was much more raw, athletic. he wasn't Pierce Brosnan or Sean Connery in any way, shape, or form. But I still had no, I just didn't see it then. And obviously now that he's done it and done an amazing job, now I feel like it's much more open to other people to be able to try it. And I think Chris Hemsworth would actually be a very, very interesting pick for James Bond.
I
Not
like that.
British, but
Yeah, it's. I
he's
mean,
got
well,
the
you know what
voice.
you know what the British say about Australia, and I'll just leave it at that. Yeah. Shout out to our friends in Australia. Uh,
Right.
exactly. So, I don't know if certain individuals in the UK still think of that as the what the country that they sent prisoners to, et cetera, et cetera. So, I don't know if there's still a long just again, you'd have to have a UK and an Australian here to go at it. But Chris Hemsworth would be personally a great pick as far as I think he would have that bravado and he would
Hmm.
approach the role, I think, in a really great way on that. But then, you know, we're just two Yanks talking about this, you know, who are we to
Right,
go ahead and
right. Ooh
decide on
wee.
that, my friend?
Right.
But I did want to mention that because, again, it is the first really, really super busy weekend at the box office. So if you guys are going to go ahead and check out, you're going to take the loved one to a Valentine's Day movie. You're going to go see Frankenstein. So you know, should be eyes will be fixed on Jacob Elordi. Hopefully for the guys, they'll be fixed on Margot Robbie, and hopefully they'll be fixed enough on the acting if it's good enough. And then also as well, of course, what's going on with Crime 101 and Goat. Again, very risky venture for Sony Animation coming off of two huge success stories with the Into the Spider-Verse and K-pop Demon Hunters. Will the streak continue? I don't know. We'll wait and see, because the Goat, aka Goat doesn't like basketball or whatnot, but they're trying to relate it to obviously goats, literally and figuratively in the cartoon movie. So your thoughts out there on this weekend at the box office, Pop Culture Cosmos at yahoo.com. But before we get to our fantasy league, wanted to go ahead and mention as well, like you said, PlayStation State of Play. Some very interesting things happened
Really
at
good.
PlayStation. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this out loud as someone who has seen Xbox in recent years kill it one developers conference after another, and then see PlayStation fall flat on its face
Yep.
one year after another, after another, after another. This is the best PlayStation State of Play they've had since E3
In a very long time. Yes.
in a very
Absolutely.
long time.
100% agree.
I think
100%
maybe
agree.
10 years, but I would say at least the E3
Yes.
presentations were probably where I put this at, on par with it. And I just think that if this would have been the state of play that I would have gotten in 2020, I would have already bought a PlayStation 5, but
Yeah,
they
no, this
didn't,
is
and I
yeah.
didn't. So
And here we are. No, this was absolutely one of the best state of plays in recent memory. I mean, they came out the gate strong with a lot of really 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 strong titles. Really, some things that we were not expecting. I know there were a few surprises on my end that I was like, oh my goodness, this is really happening. Some of the things that you and I had talked about very very recently. So if I had to give this show a grade, it was probably a solid B plus, maybe even an A minus. Like it was no, it was B plus. There was certain things that I feel like were missing that I was a little upset that we're missing. That would have definitely put it into the A, into that stratosphere. But there were some surprises on there that, I mean, even some of the things that we knew were going to come, like obviously the God of War trilogy remake. We had heard rumblings about that for a little while now. I think it was very cool to see T.C. Carson, who was the original voice of Kratos from the first trilogy, from the Greek trilogy, if you will.
mhm.
Um, I thought that was really cool to see him come out and you know obviously making known that he's got some involvement in this remake for the original trilogy, and just to kind of announce it. But even the project that they have that literally came out today, the God of War side scroller,
Sons of Sparta. Yeah,
Sons of Sparta. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It came out today as a shadow drop, as they say in the industry, and that was very surprising. I would give it a little bit higher. maybe because the fact is I have not been impressed by anything PlayStation has done this decade.
Mm.
I am going to give it an A minus,
Nice.
if not an
Nice.
A. I just think it's probably the best thing I've seen from them in 10 years
Yeah.
as a collective. So uh, there you go. It almost makes me want to buy a PlayStation 5, and who knows? I may just do that because
I need a
there's new
Wolverine.
stuff.
I needed a Wolverine
You
teaser,
said that
not a teaser, another trailer. I needed a
in
Wolverine trailer.
advance. You did say that. Yes,
Yeah,
you
I
did.
needed a Wolverine trailer, and I did not get my Wolverine trailer. However, I did get a John Wick trailer, and I had no idea that was coming. So, there's that too. But no, I needed a Wolverine trailer. I needed that to, especially because it's supposed to be. We're looking at a spring 2026 release on that, from what I understand.
Hmm.
I'm a little. I don't want to say concerned because it's Insomniac, and I feel like they've earned our trust. I also felt the same way about CD Projekt Red prior to Cyberpunk 2077. So take that with a grain of salt. But I feel like Insomniac has earned our trust. They know what they're doing with the Marvel brand, and feelings about Spider-Man 2 aside, I think that they're going to do a good job and really deliver everything that we've seen thus far. Looks like they're delivering, but I was definitely looking forward to seeing a trailer of some sort for Wolverine today, considering that the release window is so close now. So I was disappointed we didn't get that. But again, the things that we did see, the John Wick game, the new look at First Light 007, which again looks amazing. I know you've talked about wanting to pre-order that. I right there with you. I was completely. We had just talked about Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriot, and then they turn around and pull out the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2, which has.
First time it's off of anything other than a PS3 in Metal Gear
I
4.
know, and I've been waiting. I've been waiting for this, so I'm excited to finally get to dive back into that final adventure with Solid Snake. Excuse me. One of the things that I think really caught me off guard, I didn't realize that it was as good as that it got as much praise as it did, was the sequel to the Kenya game. I remember playing Kenya, and it reminded me a lot of Beyond Good and Evil. Just the movement, the way she fought. It reminded me very much of Beyond Good and Evil from Ubisoft, 20 plus years ago at this point.
Mhm.
And so seeing this new Kenya, Scars of Cosmora, I'm not sure, but this new Kenya game, I was like, oh, definitely looks like a Beyond Good and Evil style game. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And the co-op shooter, or not it wasn't a shooter. It was almost like what was the name of that game? Do you remember the samurai or the shinobi game? It was 4 player, almost like a looter. It was what was it? It was Shinobi something Shinobi, but essentially it was like you were 4 ninjas.
It's Yako Shinobi Ops is what
Okay, there you go,
yes.
Shinobi Ops. Yes, that looked really interesting. I didn't think I needed a co-op stealth game, but
Mhm.
I feel like I might need that, and I feel like I might need you to get a PlayStation because we're gonna have to do this.
Okay.
We're gonna have
Well,
to do this.
won't it be multi-platform?
I mean, I don't know. They didn't, this is a
Most of these
PlayStation thing,
games
so they
will.
didn't say.
Or
Yeah,
actually,
they might.
I shouldn't say it for granted now because some developers don't want to do it for the Xbox anymore. But a good portion will be available on that. So I'll just leave
Yeah,
it at that.
we'll leave it
I'll
at
just
that. We'll leave it at that.
we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. But it is PlayStation's state of play. It's going to be very interesting how this all comes about. But if you guys have thoughts out there on PlayStation State of Play and what was announced, again, I thought it was really great. I thought it was something where they needed it. I truly think that they're not doing as well as they say they are. I really think that PlayStation 5 as a whole is, right now, and same thing with the Switch 2. I don't believe they could tell and try and manipulate the numbers and revenue all that they want. They are not selling in today's economy as well as they once
No,
did.
no.
And so I think that this was a big boost to trying to bring out more interest in their system, and I think it did just that. And like you said, with the upcoming John Wick game, no official name as of yet. I don't expect it to come out this year. I think that that's going to be probably a little bit wait and see on that one. But like you said, Wolverine, Resident Evil Requiem was shown off. Saros was also shown off and given a release date on that. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff that was put out. Marathon from Bungie, that's had a lot of controversy heading into it as an extraction shooter. Your guess is as good as mine on how that one will do. Control Resonant was shown off. That one is a 2026 release.
I don't know about that one. That
well,
one
it
wasn't...
said it's released. They said
no. Yeah, no. I just meant as far as my excitement level for that.
Okay. Well, that it is the sequel, the direct sequel to the Game of the Year for 2020, I think, or 2019.
But it's a completely different style of game. Like, I mean, they really, like, obviously, Control was a shooter style, but this one, it seems like it's heavy melee with like different powers, and it just seems like a real departure. And obviously, Remedy knows what they're doing and they have a vision, so I'm all for it. It just seems like such a departure from what Control was. I'm interested to see how this actually plays out.
So yeah, there you have it. A lot of the good things that were announced as far as PlayStation State of Play. Will anything that was announced or updated for today's PlayStation State of Play be on our Fantasy League? We'll find out here. But if you have thoughts on the PlayStation State of Play, please let us know. popculturecosmos@yahoo.com. Well, here we go, my friend. The first ever fantasy league relating to the Pop Culture Cosmos. Again, I've done a lot in the past when Inside Sports Fantasy Football was part of the Pop Culture Cosmos and then became its own show. So fantasy leagues were there. But to do this the fair way, or the electronically fair way, I'm going to do heads or tails to get this started. So I will ask you, my friend, the first question. Heads or tails, and then we'll get into the rules as far as how that's going to go.
How about you tell us the rules first, and then we do heads or tails?
All right. So basically, what it is, we're going to snake draft as far as it's concerned. Okay. You pick, I pick. If Josh had been here and joining us, we would have gone through a snake draft, and as far as it's concerned, go back and forth.
Got it.
You pick 10. I'm going to pick 10 titles. But you pick one, I pick one. At the end, we'll pick 2 alternates. And then those alternates will be used in case the one of the above titles does not get made or get released in 2026. So that's in case of any delays or anything like that, or studio closures, which is a definite possibility, as we saw with Highguard earlier this week. A lot of people getting laid off there. So just wanted to mention that as well. But be that as it may. Oh, and then what did Ubisoft do? We just talked about goodness. That. Yeah. So
I don't understand. I'm sorry. This is 10. I don't understand Ubisoft. I don't. Like I just don't understand. Okay, sorry. Continue.
No, all good, my friend. So be that as it may, my friend, I just wanted to ask. First question: heads or tails?
It's been my practice, Gerald, that whenever heads or tails are involved, usually tails is the winner. So I'm gonna go with tails.
Here we go. It says flip the coin, so I will flip the coin. Here goes nothing. Heads it is. Now you're going to tell me it's right, right?
Bet. This is why I don't bet. This is, I demand a recount. I demand a recount.
So 2 out of 3?
No, we're good, man. You got it. Heads.
All right. So we'll get that off there. And then we're going to go ahead and put the Fancy Dan. Okay, not actually Fancy Dan. It just took me a few minutes to put this together, but I'm going to share this instead. As far as Team TJ and Team Gerald. Okay, so I'm going to start first.
Okay. I can't imagine what you're going to pick first.
Yeah, I know. Gee, what is? And, but this is a big risk because this is my number 1 pick. And if it doesn't come out, and if it gets delayed, I'm gonna have egg all over my face. But
I don't
how
see
can
it
you not pick
happening.
it? They've
Yeah,
already
I don't
announced a
see it
date.
happening. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it being delayed anymore.
All right, so I'm gonna go with Grand Theft Auto
Dang.
6. So, and remember, this is based off of
Metacritic.
Metacritic score. So whatever that Metacritic score ends up being, and I'll wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks, before I get an official Metacritic. Now, if there's like 6 months down the line, it goes from an 84 to 83. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go, it is this, and that's it. Because, there's always like one or two like jerks that come like 6 months down the line. I give this score a 70. All right. Yeah, that's
Right,
great. Yeah.
right,
Yeah. When did this game come out? Like 4 months ago. All right. So I
right.
bring it to you, my friend, Team TJ and the Pop Culture Cosmos. Your first pick in this year's video game fantasy
I'm
league
a
draft.
little upset because I was definitely hoping to get that first pick. But coming in with my first pick, I'm looking through my list here.
And let me know a little bit why. Let's go into detail. GTA, obviously, for us with Grand Theft Auto 6, you and I had to pick it first, whoever picked first, because it is going to be the quintessential game
The
of
game.
this decade.
Yeah,
It is the expectations on this game are through the roof. How big and large of a scope of this game, how detailed it will be. I mean, Rockstar has like 5 million developers working on this game, so they should have, paraphrasing there, of course,
of course.
but the expectations are unreal for this game, and if it does not meet them, or how should I say, what are the expectations? I mean, I don't know if it can meet them, and even if it doesn't meet them, that still means it's a game somewhere, I think, in the high 80s, low 90s. So, which would be an ultimate failure compared to what is, because this is essentially supposed to be the greatest game of all time that's coming out. TJ.
Yeah, yeah, and I think the flip side to that same point, and that's a truly valid point, is that, like you said, how can it ever be what everybody's expecting it to be? How can it ever live up to the hype that is now Grand Theft Auto 6, right? Because obviously we're what, 10, 11, 12 years removed from Grand Theft Auto 5's release,
Mm-hmm.
and we still are patiently waiting. I would agree with you. I don't know if it can ever be what everybody's expectations of it are, and I don't know how that will ultimately play into its Metacritic score. But I do agree with you. I think regardless, you're going to be looking into the high 80s, low 90s, if not, 100, 95 to 100. You're going to be. I don't see it dipping lower than the 85, to be honest with you.
I hear you
I'd be
on that.
surprised. I'd be surprised if it got lower than 85. I'd be shocked.
Well, it is right there. Grand Theft Auto 6 for me.
All right.
What have you got, my friend, for your pick for?
All right. So from my first pick, as I'm going through this, I'm looking at the titles that are really going to garner the most Metacritic. And once you come out of Grand Theft Auto, there's really a bit of a drop off. I have to say, there's not as many that I think are going to be as high. Obviously, I know you and I are both very excited for 007. I don't know what the Metacritic score is going to be on that. I think that I don't know if it's going to have the legs. I think we have the excitement, but I just don't know. Those kind of games have not been met with such great critical acclaim as of late.
And
So
before we go into this, can I ask you one question?
you most certainly can.
Do you want to include remakes? Because I'm willing to allow you to include remakes on this.
Oh, I mean, if it's a game that's being released this year, absolutely, I would include
Like, for
remakes.
instance, the God of War trilogy remake or the Metal Gear Solid remake. I
Yeah,
want to make sure things, this is the first time we're doing this.
yeah,
I think that, like, for instance, last year I would have picked the Oblivion remake, for instance, because I just
gotcha.
knew that was just going to kill it. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think remakes, to make things easier for you as well, is definitely in play.
Don't be trying to soften the blow for me, Gerald.
Oh, you
Don't
well,
be trying to
yeah, I'm doing
soften
it
the
for
blow
me
for
on the
me.
back end because I'll be looking at remakes.
Exactly. But in all seriousness, and I don't think God of War is not going to make it out this year. They're just starting on that, and um, yeah, I don't think any of those remakes, unfortunately, are going to make it out this year. But I digress. So if I'm looking at this list and I'm really trying to assess what's going to be a big seller, and not just so much a big seller, but it's going to be a game that's just received very well. I think that the next one has to be Mario Tennis Fever that was released today. So I'm going to go Mario Tennis Fever.
Mario Tennis Fever, all right, because it was released today, but there's no
Yep.
real scores on it yet. So I'm going to give you Mario Tennis Fever on that. So, and if you would have told me like yesterday that said that your first pick would be Mario Tennis Fever, I would have said, "Are you kidding me?" But
It's Nintendo. Nintendo historically tends to have games that are rated very, very high, Metacritic score wise. So I think it's a very safe bet. I've got my next one in my head already though, so I'm ready for you.
Okay. I just want to say though, High on Life 2 is not eligible because it's already come out and it's already got a Metacritic score. Reanimal, I don't think we should include either because that already has a Metacritic score. Does that Mario Tennis Fever? You sure you want to put Mario Tennis Fever on it? Because it does have a Metacritic score.
Oh,
And it
does
does
it?
have a
Oh,
lot
if
of
it
reviews.
if it already has a score, then
Yeah,
I'll
it's got
put it on there.
77 critic reviews, and I'm gonna give you a reprieve on that, my friend. It's 77, by the way.
Oh no, it's
So,
already okay.
yeah,
Well, yeah, I don't want to do it if it's already got a
yeah,
Metacritic score.
okay. This is the
All right,
first time we're doing this, so I'm backing
we
up
take it
to
back.
help
We
out my
take it
good
back.
friend. Yes,
We take
yes,
it back. Take it back.
especially because the fact that I got
See,
GTA 6, I'm like,
I know,
yeah, I
right?
got GTA 6,
So you can have whatever
and you
you
got a
want because
game
it's
that
not gonna
scored a
matter.
77. I mean, that's yeah. I'm gonna get some comments going like, you really did him dirty, didn't you, Gerald? I'm like,
That's
yeah,
hilarious. That's
yeah.
hilarious. Okay, well then
Okay.
if that's the case, um, darn it. Well
Which is a
now
solid score, but you're with your
yeah.
first picks, you really want to shoot for high 80s, 90s.
For sure, for sure. Absolutely, I do. So then, if that's the case, then I'm probably going to lean towards. Uh, it's still going to be Nintendo, but I'm going to lean towards
Yeah.
Pokemon.
And Mugenics, by the way, is not eligible because that already has 40 critic scores on it.
Does it
So
already? Oh,
yes,
geez. All right.
Mugenic, and that's an
Pokemon
89.
Pocopia.
Pokemon Pocopia. Oh, that actually might be something. Pokemon
Yes.
Pocopia. Hope I'm
Yes.
selling it. Pokopia.
Yep. Pokopia.
Okay. All right. There we go. Pokemon Pocopia. 15. Okay. Pokemon Pocopia indeed. So I have GTA 6. You have Pokemon. Well, if it's sales wise, they might be neck and neck on that if we did. But again, I can't get it. I can never get it. The way they do it now, it's
Yeah,
basically,
it's too tough.
it's just, and it's all estimated and stuff like that with digital. Yeah. Nintendo doesn't release all their numbers. Yeah. So it's just like crazy.
Yeah.
I will go next.
Mhm.
Why are you to pick Pocopia in the next place? Why do you think that's going to generate a high score?
It's Pokemon, and there seems to be this newfound or refound love for all things Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I can't really explain it, but I also understand trends.
Oh
And
yeah,
right
well I
now,
see. Where you and I both know we see the fighting over the Pokemon. Yes, popularity is not in question here. But
exactly.
so, all
So
right.
yeah, that's kind of my rationale behind it.
Let me ask you this though,
Mhm,
because this is going to be they're pulling their best as far as Obsidian making
mhm,
multiple games in the same year because Game Freak also has another game coming out later this year. It is a separate division, of course, but it's still essentially the same company that's
mhm.
producing their own game as well. Beasts of Reincarnation, as we saw both at the State of Play today
Yes, yes,
and then also
yes.
at the Xbox Developers Conference. So they're trying to grease both sides of the wheel on that one. Do
Agreed.
you think that's going to impact Pokemon Pocopia in any way?
I don't because again we're talking about the behemoth that's Pokemon. Now they can release anything else that they want, but it's Pokemon. So
Okay.
I just don't. That doesn't mean it won't have an effect on it. But with it being the name Pokemon and just everything Pokemon right now is just so blazingly hot. we had the Pokemon cards come in today, and they were gone within an hour or two. Like it's so crazy how everything that's old is new again.
You
It's insane.
actually save one of those for yourself, or no? Are you not allowed?
No, well, no. So we have access to knowing when those things are going to come in. We're not allowed to now. If we're off the clock, or we're not, we're coming in on our day off or something like that, then we're members like anybody else. But
Okay.
because we have that kind of insider information, we
You
we don't
can't.
really
Okay. Or
partake.
you don't tell.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't say though to Hey Joe, can we switch days or anything like that?
No, we don't do anything like that.
All
No,
right,
sir.
fair enough. All right, just not like I'm going to drive to Chicago from Las Vegas and somewhere in the Midwest to meet you and say, hey, yeah, look, can you pass that me? There you go. We'll go ahead and split the difference on eBay. Yeah.
No market
No,
stewarding over here, buddy. No
okay.
no insider trading here.
All right. Fair enough. My next pick is pretty easy because the fact when it comes to video game standards and video game consoles, one of the best showcases critically has always been driving games.
Mhm.
So I am going to go Forza Horizon 6 set in Japan
Ooh.
as the game, and it's coming out April-ish, or it's coming out it's in the spring. So I do know it's coming out for sure here. So I'm going to say Forza Horizon 6 because it's always, it's always a showcase for the hardware. It's
Yeah, I mean, I think
always,
that's a great call. I mean,
yeah,
it had a universal Metacritic score for Forza Horizon 5 of 92. So
yeah.
yeah, it's a good call. Good call,
May
man.
19th is going to come out. So I have a feeling even if it gets delayed, it's probably just like a September release or something like that. So I feel safe in Forza Horizon 6.
Yeah, I think
So,
that's a great call.
and I just want to know how they're going to incorporate all the Japanese culture into it, the drifting, things of that nature. So I'll be interested to see how that happens. But what is your next pick as far as games for this year are concerned?
Ooh, okay. Dig deep on this one.
We're at number
I
2,
gotta.
my friend.
I know we got what? How many more to go?
10 and plus 2 alternates.
Plus two alternates. Ay,
You
Dios
can do
mío.
this. You said you
Nah,
wanted video games first.
I did. I did. I don't know what I was thinking. All right. Um, so for me, and I've been on this kick as of late where I am so hyper focused on the apocalypse, like the
Mhm.
zombie apocalypse. Like I don't know what's going on. Like everything I'm watching is freaking zombie apocalypse. So in me getting ready for this next title that's about to come out, that I'm talking about, I've gone through and have started replaying Resident Evil Village and getting myself into the headspace of, okay, what are we looking for next? What's going to be the next thing? And everything that I'm hearing about this next Resident Evil game is incredible. I'm hearing that the both sides to obviously you play as Leon and you play as Rose. So you play as two different characters who kind of have two different styles as far as the Resident Evil. You have Rose, which has much more of the Resident Evil 7 vibe, the very, very atmospheric, scary, spooky, more of a spiritual successor to 7. And then you have the Leon Kennedy side, who's much more of the Village, Resident Evil 4, a little more action friendly or action orientated side. So I say that to say my next pick is going to be Resident Evil Requiem.
Mhm.
I do feel like um, it's coming at a bit of a sweet spot for Resident Evil. There's these re-energizing that Capcom has been seeming to go through as of late, and Resident Evil's been kind of really reinventing itself and once again garnering much public praise. And uh, again, I don't know what it is. Everything I'm watching is freaking like zombie related or what would really happen in the zombie apocalypse. So I might have zombie on the brain. I guess that could be what I'm doing it for. But I'm gonna go with Resident Evil Requiem.
That was my next pick.
No, not
So
anymore.
yeah, not anymore because you got it. It is a February 27th release on that one. So good choice, my
Yes.
friend. You will know about that one by the end of the month, how well that one's going to do. So it looks fantastic. I just,
Yes.
as we saw the PlayStation State of Play today, Yeah, it looks fantastic. I don't know if it's going to sell through what the expectations are. Village was sensational looking, and Requiem looks right there up with it. So we will
Did you
see
play
what
Village?
happens. Resident Evil, the last one.
You played Village? You played it?
I only played a little bit of it, but I do
Gotcha.
love the voice acting, the actual voice capture, the way that the animation, the mouth animation is
Mhm.
one of the best I've ever seen. It
Yeah.
looks so detailed and almost beat for beat matches to what they're saying. And that's, as you know, you and I have dealt with decades worth of not being able to match with the voice acting.
Exactly.
So I'm expecting good things from Resident Evil Requiem. It's got a good story, but that was a good call. That was my pick. So now I'm back to the drawing board right here. So it is, of course, the first ever video game fantasy league draft. It's 40 minutes, 30 seconds in. It's Gerald Glassford along with TJ Johnson. Okay, I think we'll just run through them a little bit quicker here, Gerald, because we're only at number 3 here. I thought this was going to be quick, and then it didn't turn out to be quick. I'm
Maybe we
gonna
gotta go. Maybe we gotta go with 5 instead of 10.
no, we'll see how far we go. We'll see how far
All
we
right.
go. I think we can get 10.
All
I
right.
think I'm gonna go with, as a number 3. I think I'm gonna go with Replaced, the upcoming side scroller 2.5D game that's coming up. It looks fantastic, and I am really impressed with it. Looks very Blade Runner esque. In its, as far as you called neo-apocalyptic and all that.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with Replaced. I think that's gonna be a winner. That's gonna get me somewhere in the 80s, if not the 90s, for Replaced.
Okay. All right. Let's see. So, what were your picks now? Where are you at? Let's see.
We're at number 3. I've got GTA, Forza Horizon 6, and Replaced. You got Pokopia and Resident Evil Requiem. What you got for third pick?
All right. So my third pick, you're gonna be mad at me, but I'm gonna go 007 First Light.
Why would I be mad at you? I'm taking some good. I took GTA 6, so I can't be mad at you for anything on
I
that.
mean, you can. It doesn't mean that you won't. You shouldn't, but it doesn't mean you won't. But I picked 007 just, as you and I have talked about ad nauseum. The game looks incredible. I'm really hoping that it delivers on. I'm hoping that it plays as good as it looks. It looks amazing. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Um, and I'm hoping that it really kind of reinvigorates the 007 brand, the 007, everything about 007, and really kind of pushes that forward again, because it's kind of stalled out since Daniel Craig has left the building, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, there you go. I am going to go ahead and take the first risk of the day. I'm going to say Control Resonant, being the sequel to the game of the year for 2019 or 2020. I forget which year it is, but yeah, definitely want to look to see if that's going to do well. But Control Resonant is what I have. Oh, I put in yours. Is what I have right now.
When is that
For
scheduled to release?
It's just listed as 2026. That's why it's a big risk.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, it might not be coming out this year. I better make sure I have my alternates ready. But I'm going to go with Control Resonant on that. What's your next pick, my friend?
My next pick is going to be. Darn it. I'm trying to go with surefire things here. I don't want to go with too many guesses. My next one is gonna. You said we are doing remasters or remakes.
Remasters, yeah. So you choose just things are going to re-release this year. I'm not going to be, as long as it doesn't have a Metacritic score as of yet.
Okay. All right. Excuse me. I'm gonna go with Lego Batman. The Lego franchises always seem to do relatively well Metacritic wise. Somewhere
I'm going to
between.
look up the title on that. Go ahead,
Sorry,
my friend.
it's Lego Batman: Legacy of the Dark Knight. So
All right.
there you go.
Yes. I was going to say Lego Batman. It's kind of vague.
This is touche.
All right. So Legacy of the Dark. Yeah, those are usually very solid. And yeah,
Yes.
I cannot blame you a bit on that one. I'm going to go next. And what I have next, it's a good question. I'm going to go with I'm going to go with Saros. I'm going to go with
Ooh.
Saros from Housemarque.
Yeah. House
Yeah.
Marquee. Yeah.
Yes. I think it's going to be a really solid title. I think I'm talking about somewhere in the 80s. So I think it's a good pick right there. And I've got it just came up with something as far as the alternate 1 and 2s that I've got for you. That's even more interesting when we get to it. When we get to our 2 alternates, they can replace not just a game that didn't come out. It can also replace a game with as far as the low score is concerned. How about that?
Oh, okay. All right.
So
Okay.
yes.
All
So
right.
we'll make it even more interesting. So make it even more interesting on that. Yeah, your number 5 pick, because you got Pocopia, Requiem, First Light, and Legacy of the Dark Knight.
My number 5 pick is going to be Marvel's Wolverine. Marvel's Wolverine.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
I think
sir.
you got a winner there. I think you really got that.
I do too.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've already talked about it. It's Insomniac. It's Marvel. It's Wolverine. There's already going to be a hunger for it because we haven't had a Wolverine game since freaking 2000 and what was it? When did that last Wolverine game Origins come out? Was it 2000?
The one you asked me for to get you, right?
Yeah, yeah. When did that come out? That was like I don't know. It was on the Xbox 360, so it was a long time ago. That's the
Yes.
last time we've had a Wolverine game, and it was really good. So the fact that we haven't had one since then is a crime. But yes, Marvel's Wolverine, I think it's going to be a big one.
All right. I've got another one coming up next, and my turn. I'm going to have is Fable. I'm
Oh,
gonna
that was
bring
my
out
next
Fable
one.
on you
You
right
turkey.
there. Could this be Xbox's reinstalling of the franchise that will make even Peter Molyneux, the retiring Peter Molyneux, happy? We'll have to wait and see. But I'm gonna go ahead and say Fable for my 6th pick. Who do
Okay,
you
all
have
right.
as number 6?
If you're gonna take Fable, I'm taking Gears of War. E-Day. Yeah,
That was my
man.
next pick.
I'm taking E-Day, man.
Well, but there's no date announced yet.
It's reported as 2026, though. I
I
mean,
know.
so it's reported as 2026.
And if it does, okay, and if it doesn't, you do have alternates. So make sure
This
you
is
choose
true.
wise, because they may get scared of GTA 6. So
They
I'll
might.
just leave it
They
at
very well might. Anything's possible.
that. Yeah. So if you're gonna choose that,
Hmm.
I'm gonna one up you even more, and
Oh, here
I'm
you
gonna
go.
get you the Halo Combat Evolved remake. I forget what they call it.
Really?
Yes,
That's rumored for
Combat.
2026?
Yeah, that's going to be a 2026 because this is the anniversary.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So
Okay.
Halo Combat it has to come out this year because if they haven't, if they're celebrating an anniversary, the 25th anniversary of Halo and
Mhm.
Xbox, and why would they bring it out next year?
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah, let's see what happened.
Okay.
I think they're going to have that looking good enough, even though we'll not have the multiplayer. It will at least have the story, and hopefully they'll fine tune a lot of stuff to give it a nice 85 on that. That's my hope out there. So what's your what's your next one, your number 7? Because I've got 7 done, you got 7 done.
All right. So then my
With this
next one is going to be since we are allowing remakes, I'm going to go with Fatal Frame 2. Fatal Frame
one.
2. The Fatal Frame series has been one that's been very well regarded. And it is a very niche series, which is why I'm glad we're not doing sales. But in regards to its Metacritic score, I'm feeling very confident because of just past iterations of Fatal Frame, and they've done relatively well thus far. So I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Okay. All right. All right. That's good. So what you have right now is Pokemon Pocopia, Resident Evil Requiem, 007 First Light, Lego Batman Legacy The Dark Knight, Marvel's Wolverine, Gears of War E-Day, Fatal Frame 2 Remake. Since we're going to go in remakes, I am going to go with the Metal Gear Solid Collection.
Hmm. But
The one
that's
that's coming.
are those is that's not a remake though. That's just a remaster. You okay
Well,
with
it's
that
the
one?
same thing. Is there
Oh,
really a difference between a remake and
yeah.
remaster?
A remake is building it again from the ground up, making it. I mean, I guess maybe not.
It's going to be
Maybe
given a
not.
separate score. So,
Okay. All right. All right.
so.
All right. Go for
Mhm,
it.
mhm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I gave you a second chance at your first pick, so
You did, sir. You did after
yes,
you picked
all
Grand
right.
Theft Auto 6. So,
Yes, there you go. All right. So with that, what is your eighth pick, my friend?
with the eighth pick in the 2026 video game draft, Tremaine Johnson picks Ace Combat 8.
Nice. That's a good
Yeah.
call. That's a Ace Combat 6.
I
Yeah.
love the
Why
Ace
why would
Combat
you go there even
series.
though I have a feeling I know why you would go that way?
I love the Ace Combat series. Again, it's another one that seems to go really well. I mean, I still play the Ace Combat series that came out a few
Mhm.
years ago, the Ace Combat 7. I've enjoyed it. And ever since Jared, ever since I was a wee lad, I've always wanted to be a fighter pilot. I
Mhm.
always imagined flying an F-16 into combat. That was my plane of choice, the F-16 Falcon, or not Falcon, excuse me. That's a Wildcat. I apologize. Point is, I've always wanted to fly an F-16. I always want to be a fighter pilot, and that gives me my opportunity to live out those fantasies. And it tends to score pretty decent as far as the Metacritic's concerned. So
I think it's a great choice. I
yeah,
really do. I think it's a great choice, and I think that you're going to be very happy with its success coming up. So we will wait and see. My next pick, I think I'm going to go solid, something that always gets a good score, usually every year. I'm going to go with MLB The Show 2026.
okay, okay.
So MLB The Show 2026. 2026. So there you go. What can I say about it?
Ooh.
It's like, you know, death and taxes. They get a like an 80, 85. So
Yeah, yeah.
yep, MLB The Show 2026. So your ninth pick, my friend.
Warhammer 40K, Bolt Gun 2.
Warhammer 40K, 40K, and then what is the official
Bolt Gun 2. That's what
Bolt
this was
Gun
called.
2? Is this a DLC or is this an
Uh,
actual full game?
Warhammer 40,000 Bolt Gun 2. I think it's a real game. Hold on. Now I'm curious. I thought.
That's what because if Warhammer 40K that's so vague because it's that's the entire.
That's true. That's true.
But is Bolt Gun 2 a DLC off the very successful Warhammer 40K that came out 2024, I believe. So
Let's see. I'm pulling it up right now.
yeah. All right.
Yeah, no, it just says it's an upcoming retro style first person shooter scheduled for release in 2026.
Okay.
It's a legit sequel.
Okay. There you go.
Mhm.
All right. Because if it's like Diablo 4 Lord of Hatred or something like
Right.
that, that's
Understood. Yeah.
I would not I don't think we should count that because
Yeah.
that's
Fair enough.
I'm gonna go next, and what I have next. Whew, now we get into some good stuff here. I am gonna go next with my pick, Mouse PI for Hire. I'm gonna go with Mouse
Oh,
PI for
okay.
Hire. I like what I see from that title. I think it's something that's going to be really solid. So I am going to go with Mouse for my final 10th pick, Mouse PI for Hire. All right, my friend, what do you got next for your 10th pick?
I'm gonna verify that this is not just an expansion. As we round out our final pick here.
I wish
I
we knew what Nintendo was bringing out this year.
I know, man. I'm telling you, man. It's they make it hard to do this type of stuff.
Yes.
But I believe this is actually a full out release. So I'm gonna be comfortable saying this. Monster Hunter Stories number 3. Monster Hunter is it's just a fun series. It's a fun series. I enjoy it, and you know what you're gonna get with it. Like it's consistent. It's heat pump consistent. You're gonna grind. You're going to spend a lot of time trying to track these monsters and finding out the best perks and the best stat boosts to get them and the best weaponry. Like it's a grind type of game, but you know what to expect, and they keep coming out with it.
So is Monster Hunter Stories number 3?
Yes.
Okay.
Monster Hunter Stories 3, Twisted Reflection. That's got a March 13th. Yeah.
Twisted Reflection. Okay.
That's
All
got
right.
a March 13th.
And this is not DLC.
No, I don't believe so. That's what I was looking for as I was typing it in, just to make sure. Monster Hunter Stories 3. Excuse me. Stories State.
Okay. All right.
Yep, it's got the demo out now. March 13, 2026 for all series, for all consoles. Free demos available right now. Yeah, no, it looks like it's a full-fledged release.
All right. So since I did I got to pick first, I'm going to have you pick your alternates here we got about 4 minutes left. Your alternates right now. You can pick your 2 alternates right now.
Oh, okay.
You first.
My first alternate, and this is a big if, Assassin's Creed Hex.
Assassin's Creed Hex?
Yes.
Okay, well, it's a good thing it's Hex. Okay. All right. Good thing it's your alternate. I'll say that.
It is an alternate for sure. Yeah, I did that on purpose.
Okay.
Did that
no worries.
You need my second one, or you gonna do your first one?
Yeah, no, you go 2 both of them, my friend.
Oh, okay. All right. Then the next one is going to be the rumored Animusha Way of the Sword.
Animusha Way of the Sword. Okay. Way of the Sword. All right. All right. Well, speaking of said Assassin's Creed, I'm going to go ahead and say for me, I'm going to go ahead and say Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake, which is the long rumored and most likely possibly dropping this year. And I think actually it will be. It's the one that's on their schedule that is unnamed for this year. So I'm going to say that is my first alternate.
I think that's a very solid pick, sir.
And
very solid pick.
Second of all of them, I'm going to say, you know what? I would be remiss if one of us did not say WWE 2K6. So, or 26 or whatever. What is it? 2K6? 2K26.
2026, yeah.
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 Okay. There you go.
I thought about it. I thought about that one. I did. I thought about it, but
it could be really good or really bad.
Yeah,
we're not counting the Switch version. So
that's a good alternate, though. So good call.
Yes,
good call.
Yes,
good alternate.
And it's got to be with the regular. Yeah. Although if it's not the Switch, if you're counting the Switch version, if you say Gerald, it's the Switch version. Yeah, I've just lost the entire game because the way they poured it. But again, there it is. Right there, I'm going to bring it down and scroll down for everyone. GTA 6, Forza Horizon 6, Replaced, Control Resonant, Soros, Fable, Halo Combat Evolved, Metal Gear Solid Collection, MLB The Show 2026, and Mouse PI for Hire, and my alternates, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Remake, and WWE 2K26. Yours is Pokemon Pocopia. TJ Johnson has Resident Evil Requiem as number 2, 007 First Light, Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, Marvel's Wolverine, Gears of War E-Day, Fatal Frame 2 Remake, Ace Combat 6, Warhammer 40K Bolt Gun 2, Monster Hunter Stories number 3, Twisted Reflection, and his alternates are Assassin's Creed Hex and Onimusha Way of the Sword. My friend, and we hit it just under the deadline.
Just under that. Look at that, man.
Any last thoughts, my friend, on this first fantasy league before we head on out?
I just want to do a victory lap early. I figured there's no better time but now. Just do a victory lap, and I want to thank all the game developers for coming out with all these games this year and not having to worry about alternates because all these games are going to come out this year and they're going to have great scores. And we're going to take down the juggernaut that is Grand Theft Auto 6. So there's that.
Here we go. Here we go, indeed. So for TJ Johnson, this is Gerald Glassford. It's another beautiful day in paradise right here in the PCC Multiverse. We thank you for listening. And here's hoping you have yourself a great